So as I was telling you, calls are mounting for the public protector to be removed from the role of advocates. It comes after the Constitutional Court found she acted in bad faith and lied under oath in the Absa Bancorp saga. Accountability Now has now written to the Legal Practice Council on that matter. The organization's director, Advocate Paul Hoffman, joining us now via Skype. Paul, a very good afternoon to you. Thank you for your time. So, Busiswe Mkhwebane, many would say, is already a woman embattled. Why do you feel this is necessary?
Well, Tembekile, Accountability Now has been complaining to Parliament since January 2017 about the lack of competence and lack of honesty of the public protector. This after the public protector refused to explain herself to us on the really spurious basis that she cannot investigate herself. We didn't ask her to investigate herself. We asked her to explain why it appeared that she had lied to us about the existence of her preliminary report in this Absa Reserve Bank matter, which came to its final conclusion today in the Constitutional Court on the costs issue. And because it seems that Parliament does not have the necessary political will to discipline her and even to impeach her, which is the logical conclusion of unsuccessful efforts on her part to explain herself. We have today written to the Legal Practice Council, which has jurisdiction over her in her capacity as an advocate of the High Court, to simply draw that council's attention to what the trenchant findings against her, which were made by the majority of the Constitutional Court this morning. It's up to the Legal Practice Council to decide whether or not it is going to take disciplinary proceedings, but I imagine that there will be a queue of people who do want to see her disciplined if she does not resign, as she should, or if she's not impeached, as she should be by Parliament.
You speak of a queue of people, Paul, who would want to see the public protector Advocate Mkhwebane face some sort of action over her various defeats, not least of which this latest one today. Some of those people will be in Parliament as members of the House. The likes of the DA, of course, we know the DA pushing for some sort of process to have her face a sanction, look into her fitness to hold office. Why not allow that renewed process to run its course before seeking what you are now calling for via her being struck from the role?
Well, certainly the first prize ought to be the impeachment of the public protector. But that is a difficult prize to win, because you need the support of 2/3 of the members of the National Assembly supporting a motion for her impeachment. And thus far, the ANC caucus, far from supporting such a move, has in fact done everything it can to protect the public protector against disciplinary procedures. The DA has been trying for more than a year to have her competence investigated by the Justice Portfolio Committee with a view to seeking her impeachment. And it's always been deflect, deny, delay, wait for the judgment of the court. And if that sort of attitude is going to be persisted in, then the impeachment is not going to be a possibility, simply because the ANC commands 57% of the votes, and 66% of the votes would be required for an impeachment to be successful. I must say in that regard that a parliamentarian who votes in favor of retaining the current public protector in the face of the serious findings made against her by the Constitutional Court today is a parliamentarian who is not behaving accountably and who is acting irrationally in voting to protect the public protector. So if we go down that route and we find that the necessary majority is not obtained, those who vote in favor of the public protector remaining in office may well find themselves on the end of a review application.
Allow me to come in there, Paul Hoffman, and ask you this question, because we are pressed for time. The removal of an advocate from the role is not one of the easiest things to do, though. So is the outcome today from the Constitutional Court alone, is that alone enough to see Advocate Mkhwebane struck from the role?
Yes, she's essentially what in polite language, the Constitutional Court has said that she is guilty of the crime of perjury. Advocates who commit perjury are not fit people to remain on the role of advocates. And that is what a court will find if a court is ever asked to adjudicate fitness to be on the role of advocates.
Let me throw another question then, because there will be people who listen to this conversation between you and I this afternoon and say, what's going on here is that you are being opportunistic through your organization. You've long waited for her to blunder, and you finally found the one thing that you can use as part of some agenda against the public protector. How would you respond to that?
I've been trying to exact accountability from the public protector since January 2017. I've been in correspondence with Parliament about it, and I've got exactly nowhere. I'm very patient, and I'm very determined that accountability will be exacted. And if it cannot be done through Parliament, because Parliament is not prepared to exercise proper oversight over a public protector who is obviously a loose cannon rolling around on the upper deck in the Chapter 9 institutions, then it will be done by the courts apropos of the disciplinary jurisdiction that courts have at the instance of the Legal Practice Council.
How long a process would this be, Paul, if there was an application or some sort of measure to have the advocate struck from the role? How long would that take to conclude?
It's a question of an application to court for an order striking her off the roll, which can be adjudicated in the High Court as the court of first instance within a matter of months. In fact, I would imagine that everybody, like President Ramaphosa with his review that he's starting now, would want the matter to enjoy accelerated hearing on the roll, because it is impossible to limp on with a public protector who has a definitive finding of hanging over her head of the kind that was made this morning. If she is properly advised, she will resign forthwith.
Paul Hoffman, thank you so much for your time.